everybody came out alive. That's the most important thing.
A man who helped people to safety during a massive apartment fire here on Toronto Street says that work is underway to salvage what can be saved. As you can see, damage to the building is extensive, and pieces of fire line like this one in my hand are still scattered throughout the scene. He says they're working hard to determine if and when people can return home.
That's the main goal.
Chad Mrack, a longtime resident at one of the buildings on Toronto Street, says there's been so many fires in the neighborhood, he's not really affected emotionally anymore. He helped people to the exits and evacuate during the blaze and witnessed what caused a total loss at the building next door.
It was like a wall of fire going back and forth.
The 41 people forced to shelter through the Red Cross from this apartment block and its sister building are just a handful of people who have seen their lives upended in the city due to fire. The city's emergency social services says it's working to get these folks rehoused, but it didn't have stats on total numbers when it comes to people who are displaced every year. But in 2023, the Winnipeg Fire and Paramedic Service had fire investigators examine more than 600 structure fires in the city.
This has gotten worse over the last 3 or 4 years.
Standing in front of a multifamily house on Hallett Street ravaged by fire March 9th, Burrows, coordinator of the Point Power Line and a longtime advocate for Winnipeg's core neighborhoods, says when a fire hits a person's home, especially someone in poverty, it's more than their property that's destroyed. By his loose estimate, in the last 6 months alone, it's likely hundreds of people have been displaced due to fires. The Hallett Street blaze that totaled this property, displacing more people in the city and having what Burrows says is a ripple effect on the foundational community members in the area, like attentive property owners and social agencies who he says help make a community stronger.
Most poor people don't have tenants insurance, so they lose everything.
Tracy McKenzie, who called 911 about Saturday's blaze, says it's her understanding that at least 4 people are without a home as a result of the fire, which she says also killed several cats and a dog.
It's a huge problem.
Still dealing with the carcass of one of the dead animals Monday, she says more needs to be done to support people in need of housing, both as a result of fires and other hardship, saying without the proper safety nets in place, there's few paths for a person to take.
This is going to be one of those situations where people are going to try to go stay on people's couches or something, but that can only happen for so long before people have to move on.
In Winnipeg, Morgan Majeski, City News.